Good evening, it's Obi-Wan Pez for Simplex Pachinko. We're doing okay tonight. Not, honestly, not super awesome. Whole family's just sick at this point, so yay. um, so we'll see how I do, but more or less doing okay. Just a little bit tired, a little bit queasy. It's all good. Alright, reminder. We're trying to look for schoolrooms, mostly. We also had this puzzle with some geographical shapes and stuff like that, as far as like which continent maybe, or which country belonged to which section. So we got that figured out in the spare time. So we'd like to be able to figure out more of the schoolrooms if we can. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how the country shapes are going to come into anything. I don't think we've found any puzzles related to them in the rest of the games, so we'll have to poke around and see what happens. See what else we need to look at. For anybody who's new, we usually do mathy type stuff on Mondays and Wednesdays. Monday is our math communication day, and Wednesday is our calculation day. Tuesdays are usually our, well, lately it's been blueprints, but whatever is available, whatever game is in our queue that I haven't done. Occasionally we'll throw in some other stuff as well, but Thursday night I've taken to doing TTRPG prep because I'm working on that one. Titan's Grave, The Ashes of Volcana, which is a fantasy age system that was let's do Tomb. We'll come back after we draft a bunch of dead ends. It's a fantasy age system, which is a 3d6 type TTRPG. Will Wheaton ran a game of it for Yuri Lowenthal, Hank Green, Laura Bailey, and Allison Hayslip back during Geek and Sundry days. It is rather fascinating. I enjoy it. I enjoy running it very much, and I've gotten somewhat better at figuring out how to make things work properly. You know what? Gems would be very helpful, and this is a dead end. So that's going to put some stuff. Alright, this is going to be 12, 13. Family crest shows us that they were... Haha. Vault? Oh, deposit box. So, yeah, we need the vault. Den will go straight through. Reading nook will bank left. Kitchen will bank right and requires a gem. Let's do the den for now, just so that we get both areas. Spare room goes straight across. Billiard room bends up into the same as the den. Nurse's station's a dead end, however, that will allow us to save steps when we get to it. Let's do spare room for now, just so that we can get to the opposite side here. Reading nook, closet, storeroom. Let's do the reading nook, get to the library. Bends back around to what the den's going to connect to, and either guest room or pantry are going to end up doing the same. Anyway, let's do the library. Yeah. We don't really need anything. Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. Secret passage, gallery. Haven't done gallery before. Bookshop, though. Let's do gallery, so that we can connect a little bit better. Okay, this is a puzzle. Christopher Manson, born 1954, acrylic and oil on canvas, collection of Mount Holly. Right? Uh-huh. Well, I don't know what this is, so this is going to be tricky. Actual objective. Christopher Manson, acrylic oil on canvas. Oh, okay. Ah. Okay. Yeah, alright. PTLSMW. Let's see if we can get a G here. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna go through all of them. Gallery. The one with the wagons. We have roses, hydrants, stop signs. The one on the right is backwards. It's a mirror image of the other. We have a P that's sitting way at the top. Apples, roses, stop signs, hydrants, those are all red. The wagon is stereotypically red as well. There's a P, giant P. Okay, so B, C, P, T, L, S, M, W, B, A, E, I, O, U, H, R, T, A. I. Okay, I, V, L, R, N, T, S, O, and back to I. Yep. Okay, D, T, H, S, I, K, V, A, back to D. Cool. A, E, O, okay, N, L, R, C, S. D, G, R, W, T, E, Y, N, back to D. P on red. S toast. Let's see. Those are all mirrored. Fire hydrant. Reflections. So like the wine ends in INE, which would be the same sort of thing that's missing off of Genu Ein. The glass is also holds wine, so again INE. The table being veri, I would imagine would be veritas. Tas in French is like cup or glass. I don't think that's going to work in this case, but I don't know what help any of that would be, of course, but actual objective pointing toward the sun or the horizon. So what's with the eyes as well? Seven deadly sins. Seven deadly bins, perhaps? Bearskin rug. Pillars holding infinity with either nails or pins. And picture of a shark on the wall, or fin. Okay, they're all rhyming, right? bones. Bare skin on the floor. Okay. So we'll have some kind of inn, I-N. And then there's a door that's slightly ajar on the right. Open. I mean, that's mean, but somebody might do that. Okay. D. G. H. L. M. N. R. T. Back to D. A. E. I. O. U. Okay. Holding up the same pattern as the other ones. Second position has A, E, I, O, U as an option. H, R, Y. Interesting. Different. Right. F, N, S, O, M, R, A, U, F, A, E, I, O, U. Cool. P, G, T, C, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yup. There's a 5 over there. Cool. C, G, L, N, O, R, S, T, C. Right. N, L, T, A, E, I, O, H. C, E, D, S, T, O, L, U, T, Y, H, E, S, N, R, K. Back to T. Okay. Hmm. So we got a starry sky. Got like a comet. Fist holding cuffs. Handcuffs. Irons. Got like a lamp. Like a pond. That is a reflection. Okay. Hey Luke, how's it going? I know, right? Alright, 5 letters. Let's see if we can manage to solve this. Should, if it's like the others, have 8 options each. So we got B, W, F, P, T, S, C, D. Back to B. Okay. R, L, C, O, A, H, I, E. Back to R. A, E, I, O, U, R, N, T. Back to A. D, C, M, N. Nice. R, A, E, I. Back to D. T, D, K, E. So we're trying to come up with the trying to come up with the name of the art piece based on these letters. R, S, N, A. Okay. So. Ta-da. Not so much. That's all right. Is there an N? There is. Haha. No. Okay. So in this last one, we've got BWF PTSCD in the first position. It's likely that our third position is going to be a vowel because that has A-E-I-O-U in it. Doesn't necessarily mean that's 100% true, but whatever. So like, what's the common thread in this picture? I've got like chord. Chain. I mean, it could work, but it doesn't really. Not so much. Like one of these things is not like the other. Like chords does work, although that doesn't really necessarily mean anything. Comet has got like a coma and the head on it. It's not gonna help. Why is the K small and the rest of it's really actually thick? I mean, is it as ridiculous as it's just literally telling me what this should be? Like, there is a K. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It would be far too easy. It's like, what are these? So again, this one is a mirror image, with the exception of the lighting, but whatever, it's appropriately lit. All the things in the wagons are red. The wagons themselves are red, typically. And then we have this P on the right. There are The only P that we can actually have in this title is going to be the first position. What are those leaves? Is it? It's just a rose stem, probably.
Hello there.
Hey, Famished, how's it going? Just chilling. Nice. Trying to figure out an art puzzle here. We're trying to figure out what the name of each of these art pieces is supposed to be based on, I'm guessing, whatever weirdness is in the photo or in the picture itself. So this is collection Mount Holly. Yeah, it's all collection Mount Holly, right? I don't think there's anything different here. Christopher Manson. Yeah. Almost through linear equations in one variable, move to linear equations in two, and functions. Yep, nice. Nice. Oh, I'm glad you feel confident. Alright. So this has a picture of a shark fin. This is infinity. These are pins. These are bins. And these are sins. This is a skin. Pillars. Is there another IN type word that represents that? And why is the door slightly ajar? Is that also an IN word that I'm just missing? May have to just come back to it. Let's go with the actual shortest one first. Alright, take picture. Like I need a 6-letter word essentially for red, I think. But then why is the P on the right? Well, we're not getting anywhere on this, so let's move on. New room. We can celebrate. Alright, then here. Going with the den. Storeroom will dead end us for the day. Pantry is the only thing that's going to keep us alive. Great. I don't like that too much. Maid's chamber, less likely to find items laying around your house, which would be very unfortunate because we do like to tend to find things laying about, but whatever, if we have to. Let's do corridor. Get to the other side, and then hopefully we'll get a T-junction. Nope. Screwed. Alright, Ugh. Man. Observatory. Might as well spend them while we have them. Everything's 50% off today. Yay! We better find literally anything. Bookshop would be nice, but I don't know. I think that has to be in a corner. Boo. Alright, well. Chest, storeroom, or bedroom? Gonna have to be the bedroom. Great night. Yep. Awesome. Ivory dye that we could have definitely used way back at the beginning. Thanks. I needed that hallway back there. Billiard. Maybe we can get a key. It doesn't really help at all. Although... No, we don't have the key card, so we can't call the, can't call the elevator down. That's too bad. Yeah, I like the billiard room. Right. 19. 3 squared is 9. 20 minus 18 is going to be 2, then squared is 4. Okay. 10 minus 7 is 3, divided by 1 is still going to be 3, and then squared is going to be 9. Cool. 2 keys. Yay. Okay. So we should at least attempt to see whether we can get into the shop, which I don't think we can. Oh, speaking of which, right, go to the tomb. Pick up the ridiculous amount of money that we have left in here. It doesn't stay until next day, so might as well. Don't have a shovel. Simon, so here's where it ends, at least for me. And of all the picturesque places in this grand estate, it chose this dreary, dank dungeon to be laid to rest. The same dim, sober fate fell upon my father and his father before him, who loved the outdoors even more than myself. They say there's no stronger bond of servitude than tradition, and family tradition thrice as strong. These are chains that seldom bend and never break, and I do wonder what plans and prospects of yours will be sacrificed upon the family font of convention. What biography of your own will you forsake to add another page to your father's memories or your mother's or mine? In our youth we're gifted with dreams and ambitions, at our death we are left with realities and regrets. I think there is no greater sin than to perpetuate tradition that stagnates growth, that strangles purpose, that suffocates dreams. What point is there to live another's life at the sake of our own? Oh, how I wish to have been buried underneath the great oak, overlooking the plains, the wondrous woods and the worldly mountains, and the wild holly that surrounds the trunk, perpetual token of sympathy laid across my grave. What dreadful tradition is it that dumped me in this sunless hollow? And if by morbid example this dark crypt makes any impression whatsoever on you, if reading this letter within these damp halls plants in you a seed of hope, if these words might grant you strength to bend if not break these chains, then I would cherish this tomb of more than oak and sycamore and spruce, more than the wondrous woods and worldly mountains. This cold stone room would become the most cherished place in all our domain. I would have you raise a shrine upon this spot to commemorate the moment of your liberty, to treat this sepulchre as hallowed ground, to realize that grand gestures could be as effective as they are theatric, and to, in turn, as recompense for the freedom thus granted you, commit yourself to be buried here, here within this mausoleum of dreams, and when the day comes to write your own letter to inspire the next generation that follows in our footsteps. Alright, yeah. In the chapel, everybody's arms are up. Great. Alright, ads are about to start, so we'll head off do that and take a little bit of a break here. I hope everybody's having a good day. And we will be back in, roughly speaking, 3 minutes. So, shall return shortly. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming. Don't forget, walk around, stretch, do some martial arts in place. Who knows? See you in just a few. Righto, welcome back. So, let's resume day 21. Boo. Yeah. Oh well. So we do need the key card in order to do that. Really too bad. Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. Right. That was the levers, right? And we also were able to read this, unfortunately. Something about one broken lever. Maybe that there's extra lever. It can be found in a particular place. All right. Let's give us the map. Buried floor plan. Yeah. Oh well, not really anything here. So we'll call it a day. Yes. Small cottage. Yes, very teeny tiny. Because we failed. Save and continue. So we like to do something. Something. Schoolhouse, yes. So we just have the speech here. Nothing actually in here. Very sad. And a single dig spot. Alright, I want to get every single school room that we could possibly get. So that's going to be maybe a little more challenging. Go check the library. Pick up a sound amplifier. Let's do library. Just get book. Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. Been a while. Third largest city in Fen Air, site of former capital, Reddington is synonymous with mountains, mystery, and magic. Most tourists head straight for the boardwalk, don't get much further than the botanical gardens. However, Reddington has much to offer. Spectacular scenery, historic castle, and charming underground bazaar reward visitors who wish to explore further. Reddington is that type of unique, enchanting place that lingers in your mind with memories long after you leave her. Botanical gardens. Most popular attraction is the guaranteed crowd pleaser, Botanical Gardens, loved by both locals and visitors for its adjoining canopy house and mausoleum, petal-covered trails, mind-boggling variety of flowers. This is the reason springtime in Reddington's busy season. Situated just east of town, Botanical Gardens offer a scenic and captivating tableau of natural countryside. Cobblestone trail meanders over 1,000 species of tropical plants, each remarkable in its own right, yet even more stunning set against the spectacular backdrop of the Reddington Mountains. Allow yourself at least an hour to indulge in this picturesque walk, which concludes at Mainway Station. Ilex X Mercervae, specimen of holly unique to the mountains. Featherfall Keep. You will find sitting at the base of Mount Perma, Reddington's second highest summit, the historic site described by scholars as significantly important to the realm's past. Featherfall Keep, former home of Lord William Epsom, I believe he took this book out, has until recently always been a private residence. Wasn't that recently, but Lord Evanson. Oh, no, Evanson. Yeah, never mind. Has until recently always been a private residence, serving as a family home to the Epsons since before the Third Era. After the death of Lord Epsom, his oldest son Lionel left the estate never to return. However, the daughter stayed, maintaining residence and staff until her marriage in 1951. At that point, Featherfall Keep ceased to be a family residence. It began operating as a historic house museum and tourist attraction, and the estate was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1972. It is still believed by many that Featherfall was built by the first king of Orinda heirs when Reddington was still the capital. However, surface documents containing conflicting dates have recently cast some doubt on the long-standing myth. Trinsdale Lake. Close your eyes and imagine a tranquil, serene stillness, rolling fogs, clear waters, and gliding swans. In the midst of all the beauty sits Trinsdale Lake, one of Fen Air's premier vacation destinations, exclusive for its more privileged citizens. Lakeside resort and cabins have been frequented by royalty and the realm's gentry for generations. However, on the southern shore of the lake, tourists are free to enjoy the views and rub elbows with the rich and famous in the 100 Bells Tea Room, which is open to the general public for lunch on Mondays and Fridays. Friday 5 p.m., I think, was the date to meet. At an elevation of 11,220 feet, Mount Holly is the tallest mountain in the Reddington Range and the highest peak in the entire realm. Beyond the physical challenge itself, climbing Mount Holly Trail is a beautiful experience and one that many hikers and explorers will want to do at least once. It's only a few hours from Reddington to get to the trailhead, and you won't need any local guides or special gear if you tackle the trail during the summer season. However, those willing to give this mountain a significant amount of planning and research will be greatly rewarded whether or not they actually summit. On the opposite side of the peak, far from the trail, rests the estate of Mount Holly, nestled between these summits' northern slope and saddle. This 80-acre mountain residence is almost as old as Reddington itself. However, unlike Featherfall Keep, the property has been completely private since the closing of Mount Holly Schoolhouse in 1966. Still, hikers will be able to appreciate the house's unique architecture at a distance from one of the trail's many north-facing overlooks. For the sentimental tourists wishing to pick up a souvenir to remember their stay, one might try braving the Mainway Station Bazaar. But don't be too hasty. Without proper guidance, the Mainway Station can be a dangerous place. Located underground, this unique marketplace was once Reddington's central railway station in a time when the realm's trains were still in service. Now the turnstiles, footbridge, and platform have all been appropriated and turned into a cavern of tents and torches. Whether you are bargain hunting, looking for adventure, or finding a memento to commemorate your visit, the Mainway Station Bazaar will be a worthy conclusion to your sightseeing adventure in Reddington. Mainway Station Bazaar here. Mount Holly out there. Botanical Gardens here. Tensor Fork. Reddington. Featherfall Keep. Mount Perma. Trinsdale Lake. Here, the Angel Tower. 100 Bells Tea Room. Burrow's End. I need gems. Yay. Workshop. I literally have nothing, so not particularly helpful at the moment. Alright, coin purse. Every time you get 3, you gain an additional 1. Reading nook to a library. Not really going to be helpful. Quarters always unlocked. Spare room here. Let's do a spare room here. Okay, security. I can't do it. Damn. Storeroom, I guess. Hallway. That could be nice. Ugh, really? Bedroom, pantry, observatory. Pantry for now. Den. Yeah. Billiard room links back. Kitchen links back. Dark room moves to the other side as well. Take our chances on that one. We only have the one key, so let's hold off for now. And we might find a hammer anyway. Reading nook. Or the bunk room. Guest bedroom, I guess. Let's do the reading nook to get another key. Alright. Parlor, library. Parlor, get more gems. Alright. The empty boxes both have true statements. The blue box has a true statement. This box contains the gems. Okay, if this is true, the empty boxes both have true statements. And this is true, the blue box has a true statement. Then this will have to be false. This box contains the gems. But the empty boxes both have true statements would then be made false. Okay, so this one... Okay, the empty boxes both have true statements. If this were empty, then this would end up being false, so that doesn't work. If this is false, the blue box has a true statement. Then this is also false. The empty boxes both have true statements. So the empty boxes have one of each, or both are false. Either way, false, false makes this true. This box contains the gems. I think that's the one. Okay, because if this is true, this box contains the gems. The blue box has a true statement. At least one of these must be false. So that means that white would have to be false in this case in order to block blue from also being true, and then we have 3 trues, which is not possible. And then empty boxes both have true statements. Will end up being false. They will both have false statements. I think we got it. Hey. All right, classroom. Classroom links to the foundation, but then forms dead ends. Dark room will then be the only one. Or... we can redraw. Billiard room. Classroom going the other way, which opens us up further. So we, again, do not get the foundation, but this will at least get us another classroom, which is what we wanted in the first place. Okay, so that gets us the... Okay, billiard room, no. Guest room, again, these all lead to dead ends, so redraw. Classroom, dead end, dead end. Although, having a breaker box will allow us to see what's in the dark room. I'm just gonna go again. Courtyard, it's better. East Wing Hall's fine. Bedroom, not so great. Let's do courtyard and hope that we also get a shovel. Nope. Man. Alright, classroom. Ooh, chemistry. I think we already have this. Yeah, this is just to make sure that you understand what the chemical symbols are so that you can do the science stuff. The corridor. Mechanarium has one door for each engineering room currently in the house. That is only gonna be one. And the bedroom's a dead end, so might as well throw the mechanarium in there and hope. Cool. And then we're stuck. Damn. Spyglass. Great. Garage. Car keys. That one, sure, why not? Yeah, closet. Damn. Oh well. We tried. Yep. Again. November. Alright. Well, I guess that's gonna be it. Another day done. Very sad. It's not a very productive day. In fact, the last 2 days have not been very productive. Do the spare room that way. Hallway's nice. Let's get both the rooms off to the side. Then here we got bedroom, billiard room, guest room. Let's do billiard room. Much prefer doing puzzles than not. Alright. Trading post tool shed gets 2 special items. Trading post has items for trade. And shelter protects from the negative effects of 3 red rooms that are drafted. Let's go tool shed. Okay. First time you enter each green room, use water to gain 1 gem. Limited capacity 3. Okay. Didn't know that was a thing. Can I dip it in? I guess the assumption is it's already filled. Okay, reading nook. Storeroom's pretty good. We also need some of the other stuff that's here. Yes, I've got that. Thanks. den. Only one that's going to let me go through to the other side. That's pretty great. Let's do the passageway. Bedroom. Closet we could use. Hopefully get a gem and a key. Pretty nice. Alright, reading nook, pantry. Pantry goes to the foundation. Drawing room. Let's do pantry. Alright, that goes to the basement. Commissary goes the correct direction at least. I guess bedroom just gets us steps, so not particularly necessary right now, but helpful in the future. Oh. 50% off days 20 and 21. Oh, nuts. We missed it, didn't we? Yeah. Maid's Day sale. Alright. Running shoes are nice. Sledgehammer is even better. So if we can get batteries in the workshop and hook them up to the sledgehammer, we can make a power sledge and then start busting down some walls. As of first week of December, so that's going to be next week. Showroom, dark room, reading nook. Cool. Would have been useful to have that a while ago. A broken lever. don't think going downstairs is going to be helpful. And I just ended it all over again. Cool. God, I'm doing absolutely nothing. Okay. We need green rooms, so watering can doesn't help. Nothing. Well, that's slightly frustrating. Didn't really have anything useful to do any of those days that we were in there, so we will come back with this probably next Tuesday. I'm going to go to bed because I'm still ever so slightly, I think, coming down with whatever kiddo over there has. So, very unfortunate. We'll see how it goes. We're going to head over and chat with one of our friends. Who we got? Serving Sabrina is doing The Walking Dead. Zach is currently doing How Aligned Are You? A Vector Story. Domestic Dan is doing Subnautica. Aram is currently working on Elite Dangerous. Solu is working on Final Fantasy VIII. Ready to Tina is doing Enshrouded. Let's head over to Dev the Devastator, who is currently working on Minos with the three-piece gang. Friend of ours from a number of years ago. So, labyrinth drafting, I think. Anyway, we will head on over there, and we'll see you all probably tomorrow for math calculations. As long as I'm feeling at least this well, we probably should be able to do it. So, thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you next time. My name's Obi.